to the football rundown. We're back with another match preview today. Stockport County travel to Brisbane Road to take on Leyton Orient this upcoming Saturday afternoon. Very much looking forward to the vlog back on the road with the away vlogs this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. It'll come out probably late Saturday night, early Sunday morning as always. And it's going to be a really tough game. Let's be honest with ourselves. We've had a typically easy running on paper. The last couple of games, other than Reading, the last two, Crawley, Shrewsbury, two teams near the bottom of the table. As I say, on paper, would be an easy game. How it's actually played out, it's probably been a little bit more difficult than we probably thought. Crawley, okay, quite cruise control almost boring at times, but we get the 2-0 win, 3 points and a clean sheet on the board. Then you get to Tuesday's game against Shrewsbury, and we made it very difficult for ourselves late on in that game. And as I say, we were not that particularly great to watch. Just the Ollie Norwood free kick going in that split us between our performance and Shrewsbury, obviously getting the win. But as I say, Shrewsbury, they weren't a great side, but they made it difficult for us late on, and that is a little bit of a warning sign for County. How sloppy they made us look in those last couple of minutes. They almost took us down to their level. That's something that we can't afford to do if we want to get a positive result against Leyton Orient this Saturday. Just want to say as well, of course, the transfer window is coming to a close. I think it's Monday when it closes. No news as it stands of players coming in for Stockport County. And of course, I would expect there to be movement in the next couple of days. But I thought there would have been one drop tonight, to be honest. And that may well still be the case. But at the time of recording, there isn't any news that anyone's going to come in. And I'm only hearing that other clubs are doing business. In fact, I think I've just read earlier that Wrexham on the verge of signing Sam Smith from Reading, a $2 million club record apparently for Wrexham. So that's an interesting one if that one happens for Wrexham. It just goes to show, doesn't it? Huddersfield spending big money on strikers from Luton this window. Obviously they've got Dion Charles from Bolton as well. Wrexham, spending money as well, signing players. It just shows that County maybe are not on the level of the spending power of those teams. In front of us in the table, the likes of Birmingham, as I say, Huddersfield have been another, Wrexham as well. Wycombe, though, could be losing a top striker to Luton in sort of the last couple of days of the transfer window. That would be a huge one for them. They've lost the manager. Now they could potentially be losing their top goal scorer. I think he's actually the top goal scorer in League One as well now with 16 goals, overtaking Louis Barry over the last couple of days. So that's an interesting one in terms of movement elsewhere around us in the transfer window. But as I say, no news as it stands on Stockport County. Disappointing on that one. I still think we need a centre-back. I still think we need a centre-forward, to be honest. Like I say, if we are going to be playing with two strikers for the majority of the season, we're going to need an extra striker at least. And obviously Sam Hughes is out on loan now. But it's really, really important that we do replace that centre-back with Hughes out on loan. Whether or not, look, I personally think we'll end up bringing two loans in now. I think it'll be a centre-back on loan and a centre-forward on loan. I don't think we'll end up spending any money in terms of signing players. So that'll be interesting to see who comes in. If a player comes in, I do expect there will be business though. But let's get to, of course, Stockport County versus Leyton Orient. We'll have a quick look at the league table. How does the table sit before this game on Saturday? Well, of course, Birmingham City still top of the table. Wycombe Wanderers still in that second position as well. Wrexham, of course, lost to Stevenage on Tuesday. They're still in third, 5 points better off than Stockport County. Huddersfield in fourth as well. I think they've lost a couple of games recently. Of course, County in that fifth position. Leyton Orient, though, just behind us in the table by 1 place and 3 points. Their goals difference is better than us as well by 1. So it's interesting, taking interesting shape, this league table currently. Of course, the bottom half of the table as well. Shrewsbury and Crawley still in their relegation spots and not looking like they're going to be getting out anytime soon. Leyton Orient, of course, beat County 4-1 at the beginning of the season at Edgley Park back in September. They currently sit 6th in the table, as we said, just a place behind County in the league. The O's are currently enjoying an 11-match unbeaten run since losing to Huddersfield on 26th of November. Leyton Orient have picked up 9 wins and 2 draws. I mean, it's bloody unbelievable form, let's be honest. That is the form that County had back in League 2 last season with, 12-match winning streak almost. It's almost comparable to that. And obviously we went up as champions. So Leyton Orient at the moment are on the verge of creating something very special if they can keep it going. They were sat 21st in the table. I think this is right, so correct me if I'm wrong. This isn't from me looking at my preview notes from when we faced Birmingham at the beginning of December, the away game. At that point in time, Leyton Orient was sat 21st in the table So that's the beginning of December. 16 games played, 15 points on the table for Leyton Orient at that point in time. Since then, they've collected a staggering 29 points from their unbeaten run, scoring 29 goals while conceding just 9 clean sheets as well, which is also the league's joint most along with Stevenage. It surprised me Stevenage had that many as well, to be fair. With them being as far down the table as they are, I didn't think they would have as many clean sheets as they have done. So it is going to be a bit of a battle, let's be fair. Leyton Orient is going to be a tough test. However, what I would say is Reading on paper was a tough test going into it a couple of weeks ago. That was also away from home as well. And we came out of that with a very strong performance by all accounts and scoring 3 goals. Not quite the clean sheet because it was 3-1, but we still managed to get a very good win. So in terms of how the game is going to go on Saturday, if you're thinking sensibly, you're putting your sensible head on, everything points towards Leyton Orient getting over the line and getting that win again. But there's something about this, and maybe it's just because I'm trying to be optimistic. But there's something about this that tells me, we're going to win this game. Look, you've got to, all good runs come to an end at some point. And that, if you're a Leyton Orient fan now, yes, it's been a dream run. But at some point, you don't know when it's going to happen. But that sort of dropping of points, that first defeat, that sort of ending of the run, it's going to come around the corner at some point. If you're an Orient fan at this point in time, it's coming around the corner. You just don't know when. And I'm hoping it is going to be around the corner on Saturday with a Stockport County win. I think we will get something from the game. I don't know if it's going to be a draw. I don't know if it's going to be a win. Just want to say as well, for anyone that doesn't know, I did appear on the Scarpa Bagara War yesterday. We did go through the score predictions for that, and I did say we would win the game 4-1 just because they did that at Edgeley Park at the beginning of the season. I was half joking, let's be honest. I don't think we will necessarily win 4-1, but I think we could get a win, but my head is probably telling me a draw. My heart is saying we are going to win the game. In fact, my heart's saying 4-1. My head's saying 1-1, maybe a 2-1 if we're lucky. So that's 3 predictions there, isn't it? That's kind of cheating. We'll go with a draw. That's sensible. But also a 4-1 win, if that makes sense. I just want to see us go and play well. The last couple of games, I don't think I've been particularly that pleased with how we've played. I want to go and see us play with a little bit more confidence. Play a little bit more like how we have done in games where we have been successful. Is basically what I'm asking for. I want us to be entertaining. That's probably the best way to articulate it. I want us to be entertaining to watch, and if we can get a win from that, great. But I think a draw wouldn't certainly not be the worst result from this, because we've got to understand we want to be in the playoffs come the end of the season. Of course we do, but getting a point away from home against a team like Leyton Orient, who are also aiming for the same thing now, it's a very, very good point come the end of the season. We could be looking at that, and we could be a point in the playoffs come the end of the season, and that might be that point that we get at Brisbane Road on Saturday. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Of course, team news is going to be an interesting one. We've currently gone for almost the same 11 the last couple of games. I mean, we kind of have to, don't we, really? There's not a lot in terms of squad depth, with obviously injuries, players going out on loan, players being recalled from loan. It's left us quite thin in the squad, and obviously we haven't brought in that many players in this January transfer window. There is just Mika Hamilton on loan, and of course Benoni Brecky Anderson, who came in on loan, came in on a permanent from his club in Iceland, but he's still quite young. He's going to be a raw talent that is developing and needs time to develop, so we can't put the pressure on him at such a young age, especially when he's adapting to a new country, a new league, a new style of play, and of course new teammates as well. So we are quite thin in the squad at this point in time. Obviously we are hoping to get a couple of bodies in to come the end of the window, but that's going to be difficult, isn't it? I think transfer deadline day is Monday. We haven't brought anyone in as it stands. That could change in the next couple of hours still. But going into Saturday as it stands, there isn't anyone coming in. Of course, we could bring someone in tomorrow. It's never too late, but typically I'd imagine they would do it on the Thursday if they could, so they're available for the game on Saturday. And that isn't the case at this point in time. Squad prediction or team prediction of how I think it will line up. I think that Dave Channel will go unchanged from the game at the weekend. I was going to say the game on Tuesday. I think he'll go with Hinchliffe, Noyle, Connolly, Pye, with Salvan Hales, Ibi Toure, the midfield three of Camps, Collar, Norwood, and of course that front two partnership of Wootton and Alafi. For me personally, I think I'd change shape actually. I think the front two was working. Now I'm not sure it was quite as effective in that game against Shrewsbury, and I would like to see a little bit of a change in formation. Still maintain that three at the back, because I think we have to get the best out of Connolly, and also Noyle's done really well in that position recently as well. Of course, Hinchliffe in goal, so Same back three and same goalkeepers, what I think Dave Challinor will go with. Same wing backs as well, still got Ibi Toure on the left and Southern Hales on the right. But I've gone with a midfield two of Oliver Norwood, who is undroppable at this point in time, Will Collar, and then I've gone for two wide players and a striker, Mika Hamilton on the left, and then Jack Diamond on the right with Tantor Alafi down the middle. That is dropping Wootton, who has pretty much been ever present up front so far this season. It also means the captain's armband would be left, and I would give that to Oliver Norwood after his performances of late. And of course, that what turned out to be the winner of a fantastic free kick on Tuesday night. So yeah, that's the team I would go with, and also the team that I think Dave Challinor will pick. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts on the sort of formation that you guys would probably want to pick if you were the manager, and what kind of players would you be looking to pick in order to get a win from this game on Saturday. As I say, it's going to be incredibly tough against an opposition which is the most informed side over the last sort of 5 or 10 games or something. I think they're probably top of the table in the form chart, so they're in very strong form at this point in time. They carry a goal threat as well, of course, so we have to be wary of that. A couple of players to keep an eye on, but of course Charlie Kelman is the top scorer for them with 8 league goals so far this season. We're gonna have to, we're gonna have to seriously think about that. And as I say, the last couple of games we haven't played at our best. I am hoping we can up our level like we did against Reading, and hopefully get that win. As I say, another win on the road would be nice. We won last time we were away, and of course we always win away. So hopefully we can do that. And like I say, it's an important month we're coming into as well. I know obviously this is the last game of January, but we've got the February games against Barnsley and the likes. Bristol should be an easier game on paper, but it's a tough journey to go on a Tuesday night, isn't it? And then obviously I think we've got Wigan as well coming up. Those kind of teams could be a bit awkward for us if we're not careful, as we've seen against Shrewsbury as well, that the teams near the bottom can make it difficult for you. And in fact, sometimes you can find it easier against the top sides. I always think that with County. Sometimes it's the more the teams that you think you should be beating where we tend to struggle, and actually we probably find it easy against the teams that we think we have less of a chance of winning in. So yeah, I think obviously expectations are probably still. I think I said 7th at the beginning of the season. I think we said we'll finish just outside the playoffs. I think that's probably nailed on almost. I think we'll be there or thereabouts still come the end of the season. I think it's largely gone how I expected it to go. I just don't think we maybe played on the level that I thought we were going to play in. I think we've been a little bit lost in terms of how we want to play, formation we want to play. I think that has kind of gone away a lot throughout the season. I think we're playing a back three almost because we feel that we have to, as opposed to us really wanting to. I don't think it's really how Challinor wants his side to play. And typically, when we've got our better players available, I don't actually think it gets the best out of us. But I think because maybe we didn't replace certain players in the summer, and we've had a couple of injuries as well, we've almost fallen on sort of the back three, and it's given us that sort of short-term stability in the sides, particularly defensively. But I think going forward, if we can get a positive end to the season, I think we will end up staying in League One this season. Not that that's really the end of the world; it's actually very good. But I think in the summer, I think we probably will look to go back to a 4. And actually, if we don't go up this season and we do stay in the league, we'll probably be up there with we'll probably be one of the best teams in League One going into next season. So we probably can go a bit more on the offensive and go back to a back 4 and hopefully play a little bit more on the front foot at times. It'll be a little bit more exciting to watch as well, because I think that has struggled a little bit this season. Even in some of the wins, we haven't looked spectacular. And I suppose that's probably why, going back to it, I want to see players like Hamilton and Diamond play on either side, because there's nothing better than watching two players on either side get at the opposition, run at them. That's what makes fans get off the edge of the seat, particularly away from home as well. I think if we can do that, if we can get our fans off the edge of the seat, that'll create an atmosphere in the away end, which is never actually a problem for County fans away, to be fair to us. But I think, you get them off the edge of the seat, you create an atmosphere, particularly early on, and that will stay with them for the rest of the game. And that can be the 12th man. It can get you over the line in games sometimes. So hopefully we can do that. As I say, I want to see a bit more from Hamilton and see what he's all about, because we didn't get to see enough of him in the last couple of games. And as I say, Jack Diamond did score in that game against Reading. He's not had much of a look in since then, so hopefully we can give him that opportunity. And with Tantor Laffy with pace up front as well, hopefully we can find those runs in behind should they occur. And it's also a good opportunity to drop Wootton as well, who, he's not looked at his best this season, but also as well, he's played a lot of football, so it's an opportunity. He's out of form, but he's also probably in need of a rest as well, to be fair. So hopefully going with with just one up top and dropping Wootton to the bench It gives him a rest. It also means that we do have an option off the bench to change our style, because at the moment we are a little bit one-dimensional. We throw our best two strikers on at once, and if that doesn't work, we don't really have anything to sort of pivot to. So that would be a team I would go with. As I say, I'm expecting us to not lose the game. How does that look in terms of, do we win or draw? I don't really know, but as I say, I do want to get your thoughts in. I do think it is a must not lose, to be honest, if we want to keep up this race for the playoffs, because they are right behind us in the table at this point in time. But anyway, as I say, looking forward to it. Hopefully there will be some more signings in the door before now and Saturday. Let's wait and see. Of course, we will be reacting on this channel if there is some news before now and then. But if there isn't, we've got the match vlog to look forward to on Saturday, and hopefully another county win. So do get your thoughts in the comment section below, of course. Transfer news. What do you think is going to happen with the window coming to a close next week? What are your expectations on the game? How tough is it going to be? Do you think we can get the win? Who would you pick, and what formation would you go with? Everything Stockport County, basically. Do get your thoughts in. And of course, if you haven't watched the podcast from last night on the Scarpa Guy War, do go check it out on their channel. I'm sure I'll put the link in the description below as well for that one. So yeah, do subscribe as well if you're not already. And I think we covered everything. So yeah, hopefully maybe see some business before now and then. But if not, match vlog on Saturday night. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.